Hi, my name is Joe. Alongside me here is Kyle, and we're here to bring you the breakdown brought to you by the Lance newspaper. So here we go. We're going to start it off with 60 seconds to answer each question, and we're going to begin with Cutler and Campbell. Kyle, how will the Bears survive without Jay Cutler on the team?
Like we saw against San Francisco, the Bears will not survive against San Francisco. Against any team in the NFC North, the Vikings or the Packers. I don't think without Jay Cutler, the Bears can first of all, make the playoffs, and second of all, win in the playoffs, which is pretty important. Jay Cutler, even though everybody hates on him that he turns the ball over, he gets sacked a lot. Getting sacked is not his fault, and he's definitely a better quarterback than Jason Campbell.
I agree, and all I'm going to say is that I'm sending my prayers that Cutler comes back, because after that game against the 49ers, we cannot let ourselves depend on Jason Campbell. He's just not. He just didn't seem ready, even after 70 starts in the NFL previously. He just didn't seem ready to start this game. And I mean, Colin Kaepernick for the 49ers, he looked really good, and it was his first NFL start ever. It was just our offensive line. We weren't getting any push. When you lose the line, you lose the game. So I think
the schedule just gets harder from here. So we definitely do need Cutler back. Because Campbell, yes, he's good, but he's a pocket passer, and our line does not help the pocket.
And we do have a big game with the Packers coming up.
Yeah.
So we got to be ready for that one.
All right, moving on to our next question. How will the Bulls do the first half of the season without Rose?
Without Rose, I'm going to have to say the same thing that we were talking about with Cutler. There's no one to fill the role for Derrick Rose. The Bulls are going to be struggling. It's going to be an uphill battle for Chicago without Rose, and there's just no one there to really play the point guard position.
Well, yeah, you got Kirk Heinrich. I mean, he's definitely a decent point guard in the NFL. He's probably in the middle of the pack to the lower end. He's not the best. And the first round draft pick, Marquise Teague, I think he'll get a bigger role farther along in the season we go. He played at Kentucky on a national championship team. But I think that right now they're 5-5, 500, same record as the Lakers. Right now they would not make the playoffs if the playoffs started today, 9th place. But I think they definitely could be a 6, 7, maybe even a 5 seed if the playoffs ended when Derrick Rose is still not on the team. They're a good team, but they definitely would not be able to compete with the Celtics or the Heat.
All right. So let's move on over to our odds segment of this breakdown show. So, Kyle, what are the odds that Oregon or Kansas State make the BCS championship game?
I would say the odds of Oregon making the championship game is 30%. Kansas State, I'd give them a 15%. Weaker conference. No one gives them as much respect as Oregon, and I just don't think they're as good as Oregon.
I can agree with that. I think that Kansas State has maybe a 5% chance of making the BCS championship. They need a lot of things to go their way from here on out. But Oregon, I would have to say there's about a 50% chance that they can make it. You know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. They will have to win out the rest of their games. But with the Pac-12 championship coming up, I think that they still do have that chance of making it to the championship game.
How about the Colts making the playoffs? What's their percentage?
The Colts making the playoffs, I would have to say about an 85%. They're in a pretty weak division, but standing on their way is the Texans. The wild card, though, that should be theirs for the keeping.
I would give them a 50% chance, only because right now they're 5th place in their conference. I just don't think with the young quarterback that they can stay at the end of the season playing the Texans. I just don't think they'll be able to stay in 5th place. I mean, they might be able to stay, but I'm just giving it 50%.
All right, quick. Knicks finish in 1st place.
I'll give them a 70% chance because they're in division. Celtics and Nets are in their way, but right now they're looking hot.
The way Melo's been playing, I can agree. I'm going to say about an 85% chance that they're going to be up there at 1st place at the end of the season. They're definitely going to be big playoff contenders and contenders for the NBA Finals. So watch out for the Knicks, especially Carmelo Anthony with some MVP bids probably going to come his way.
All right, based off the beginning of the basketball season, who deserves respect?
I would have to go with Indiana. They're the number 1 seed. They're definitely showing what they have, bringing the spark to the court, coming in out of the Big Ten. That's a hard conference in the NCAA, but they're really coming in showing what they have.
I would say Duke. I mean, they're preseason number 10, top 10, not as high as Indiana number 1, but they beat a third-ranked Kentucky team, which people can say might make the national championship again. They have 2 seniors, a guard, Seth Curry, and Mason Plumlee, a big guy, that will help them lead through the ACC. Not as tough this year as in years past, and I definitely think that senior leadership will help them get farther in the tournament than they used to.
The Duke Blue Devils can only hope that they can go farther in the tournament, because I don't think there's any way they can go backwards after losing the first round last year.
To Lehigh, yeah.
So we'll just have to wait and see about them. All right, moving on over to our BCS Bowl outlook. So Kyle, who plays in the BCS championship game?
I would have to say the undefeated Fighting Irish from Notre Dame. They still have a big game against USC, so we'll see how that goes, versus the winner of the Alabama-Georgia game in Atlanta for the SEC championship. The SEC is the hardest conference in college football in decades. I mean, they've won the last 6 national titles. I just think the winner of that game will outrightly be able to play against Notre Dame, unless Notre Dame falls, and then probably Oregon. So I would say Notre Dame winner SEC championship. In my mind, Georgia.
Now, I agree with you. The winner of the SEC should deserve a bid to the BCS championship game, but Oregon, you have to watch out for Oregon. They still have a Pac-12 tournament to play in. Notre Dame is an independent team, and they don't have a tournament at the end of the season.
They're still undefeated, though.
They're
still undefeated, and Oregon doesn't have that one loss.
What you have to look at,
and they beat Stanford, and Oregon lost to Stanford.
What you have to look at is games where the point differentials between other games.
Yeah. Okay.
Notre Dame beat Stanford in overtime. Oregon lost to Stanford in overtime.
Yeah. All right, time for our 60-second breakdown. Lakers hiring D'Antonio. Is that a good call?
Definitely the right move for the Lakers. Mike Brown's not as the coach. He's got 3 future Hall of Famers on his team, and he can't get the job done. Come on, man. All right, Maryland and Rutgers are moving to the Big Ten. How's that going to...
Maryland's in Maryland. Rutgers is in New Jersey. That's 2 East Coast teams, 2 Big East teams. The Big Ten is usually a Midwest team. This is shaking up all the divisions, the leaders and the legends. I just don't like it. Blue Jays is going to be in top of the AL next season after a big trade?
Definitely. There's a blockbuster trade between them and the Miami Marlins, and you're definitely going to have to watch out for the Toronto Blue Jays this upcoming baseball season in the American League. All right, so the NHL had a meeting yesterday. What's going on with the season?
Like you said, meeting yesterday got nowhere. November's over, December's over. There's just not enough time. I think the NHL season's over. Gronkowski breaks forearm. Where do Pats stand now?
The Pats are still going to the playoffs and will still very well go far in the playoffs. Without Gronkowski, it's Brady's favorite receiver, but their division is the weakest, one of the weakest in the NFL, especially with the players that the Patriots have. So they'll definitely be okay.
Well, thank you. For next time on the 60-second breakdown, I'm Kyle Murray with Joe Genova.